Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial video. If you're new here, my name is Yusuf. I teach on this little YouTube channel called, what's it called? The Game Dev Show. So, if you're new here, consider subscribing and liking. So basically, this is gonna be the little main menu that we're gonna build. Whenever you click on play, whenever you highlight over play, it shows a little highlight option. You can press on play for it to be darker, and it'll take you to the next scene. We're gonna be programming that in the I haven't programmed it yet, but I'm gonna show in detail how to make this, and it'll take you out of your game. And the little I think the little logo, I don't know why it's called Terran for some odd reason, but I named it Terran, and it slides in from the left to the right. It's way faster, and it's way more cleaner in the whenever you build the game. So let's just get started. So first of all, just ignore all these assets. We're not gonna be needing them, and just go right here to the scene. I'm gonna make a new scene. I'm gonna be making a new scene. Let's go to scenes and file, new scene. Yeah, save, why not? Okay, so first of all, we're gonna be needing the little text right here. So first of all, let's just make a canvas. Let's right click on Untitled, go to Game Object, select UI, and select the text to make the little text logo right here. You can even make it as an image. Just go to Untitled, select Game Object, select UI, and go to image. Right, yeah, it's right here. Go to image, it'll open an image, and you can select the sprite right here. For example, if you want this sprite, this laser sprite, it'll add it right here. If you wanted to add a logo, like if you already have a logo you've done in Photoshop, you can just add it right here with image, but I'm gonna be typing it in. So first of all, the canvas, I want it to be in the camera, and I want this to be our main camera, so it shows right here, so we don't like get confused to where it actually is. And let's select the text. Let's just click on W to move tool, to select the move tool, and let's just drag it and drop it all the way, for example something like here, and press Ctrl to snap to grid. I think something like here is pretty good, and let's make it, for example, Terran, or really just whatever name you want. I don't know why I choose Terran. I don't know what that means anyways. You can choose whatever name you want, and I'm gonna be maybe make the font size a bit bigger. You know what, just click on T and make this a bit bigger. Hold Alt to scale from all sides. First, like, hold down the notch right here, or whatever this is called, and hold down Alt to scale down from like from this position right here, and scale from all sizes. And you can even press Shift to like scale equally. I think that's called equally. Maybe just type in here Terran, or whatever weird name you come up with, and I'm gonna be selecting this you know what, first of all, let's just make the font size a bit bigger. I'm gonna align it in the center, right here. I'm gonna make it a bit bigger, maybe make the fonts different. Hold up, make this a bit bigger, or you know what, just go to horizontal overflow and make it overflow, because really, who cares? And maybe make it right here. Yeah, just change the name if you want. It doesn't really have to be Terran. Just make it fit into your own name. And yeah, actually Terran sounds like a bully name. So maybe just go to, alright, so the logo is out of the way. Let's maybe make the background color. I don't like the background color that much, so let's maybe make it something like a I'm gonna select this dark primary color, go back to Unity, and make the background this dark primary color, and select the primary color as the text color. Maybe I'm just experimenting here. Closer to pink. Yeah, I think this is good. And now let's go into the animation phase. So animating really anything in Unity is really easy. So to create basic animations, just go to animation, click on this, select the object you want to animate, and click on create. Now I advise you to just make a separate folder for animations, and then another separate folder maybe call it UI, or you know what, main menu, because why not? And let's just select it, and for example let's call it Terran text. Let's select this. Alright, so let's just click on this little record object right here, this little record icon, and maybe just what I like to do to make things easier, instead of like going in and going out, just select on control, move it to the bit to the right and move it to the left again so it stays in place, and make it something like 30, and just go put it all the way back here so it's a clean animation. Correct? Yeah, I think that's a clean animation. Maybe make it something like 45, because why not? Yeah, I think 45 or maybe 40. You can really play around with this. So if you've can really play around with this. So just a note, if you've never really used uh, the animation window right here, or really animated anything in Unity before, it's actually really easy. What these are is they're basically called keyframes. If you've ever animated in any uh, editing software before, you basically have the start position, or start, and any start rotation, start position, start scale, really anything, and you have the end scale. So it slowly transforms from one object to the other object in a very fluid motion. So basically this is the computer doing its job. You have no say in it. You only have the position, the original position and the last position, and the computer does the rest. So that's actually pretty cool. Now let's go to the animator right here. Let's just select this. Let's go to game and let's see how this is. I think that's actually pretty good, but it loops. It still loops. If we play, well, it should actually it should loop. It should stay looping in the animation window. But if we play, we don't want it to loop. So what we can achieve is really easy. It's actually really easy. Just go to project, go to the animation, or search for it right here. I'm gonna search for it, Terran. Yeah, Terran text. And loop time, just unselect this. Really easy, really simple. Just play. Now if we play, alright, it should stop. Now if we play again, if you want, you can just make a really small little script for testing, and just make it so that whenever you press on R, it restarts the scene, if you want. But I'm gonna keep it this way, because if you want, just keep it for testing and then remove it later on when you publish your game. But yeah, just to make things a bit easier for you. And yeah, that's one thing out of the way. The logo is really easy to do. It's just one position, another position. Really easy, really simple. And maybe play around with the colors a bit. I really don't like the colors right now. I'm not really good with design. I'm gonna be frank with you. Now we have one thing out of the way, which is the logo. Now let's just make the buttons right here. These is the play, the settings, and the quit buttons. And you can basically just make however many buttons you want, but I'm just gonna make 3. And go to UI, select the buttons button, and put it all the way right here. Something like here. Yeah. You can easily just add a image. Just if you want, you can add an image if you already have designed your logos, or I mean, sorry, your buttons. You can just go to UI and go to image. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. Image, and select button, and you can play around with it right here as an image, and you can select a different sprite, for example, just this. Maybe make it I don't know, like highlighted color, maybe make it red just to test things out, or you know what, black just to test things out. Like, you can add any single image you want. You can do the same steps with an image, but I'm gonna do them. Yep, you can see right here. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add text, like actually regular buttons. UI, and go to button. Now a third option, well, not really a third option, this is a variant basically. You can go to UI and you can select the Where is it? Yeah, Text Mesh Pro. So what Text Mesh Pro is, you can basically just download it. It has more settings to fonts, like you can add shadows. You can basically add in detail how you want the fonts to be. I'm not gonna talk about this right now. I'm gonna talk about this in a later video. I'm gonna make a video, I promise. I'm gonna make a video in the future. Just delete it, and I'm just gonna make a button, a simple button. Alright, so creating a button is actually really simple. Just select it, we make it a bit bigger, something like here, and set the normal color to black, or you know what, just keep it white. This is the normal color, we don't want it to show at all. And let's make it something like, let's make it the same color. Let's make the normal color of the text the same color as the Terran logo. This font is pretty cool, yeah, whatever. Maybe just call it play. And set the font size to something a bit bigger. Alright, you can keep it white if you want, or maybe make it something like less white, like a, this is just the opacity of the color. You can make it like transparent, or you can make it something like in the middle, just to make it pop in. I'm gonna make it a black middle, and I'm gonna make the pressed a darker black. So I don't know why I just did that. I could just like swipe it down, but maybe something like this black, maybe a darker highlighted color black. A disabled color, I don't need that, and a selected color, I don't need that. You can even just like play around with these. If you make the color multiplier something like this, it's basically just multiplies your color. That's what I think of it. Make two buttons, two separate buttons. Make another button right here, put it, set it right here, and a other button, set it all the way here. Make this the F2 to rename. Make this settings, for example. Make this quit, and call this play. Alright, just to make things a bit tidy, select the text of the button. The text is the child of the button, and set this as settings. Maybe make this overflow, or better yet, just select settings and scale it from all sides by hitting Alt. Perfect. Now, same thing with quits. Just go down, select text, and rename this to quits. Cool, very cool. Now we have settings, play, and quit. Maybe make these settings a bit smaller. I don't know why, I just want it to be a bit smaller. Yeah, I guess this is pretty cool. Maybe play around with the fonts a bit. Maybe make this, I don't know, like a different font. How about we make this, no, not Arial. I hate Arial. I think maybe, yeah, I'll just keep it, because why not? I'll make them something like bold. Yeah, bold is kind of cool. And make them just a tad bit to the dark side.
Till now you have become the very thing you swore to destroy.
Okay, so now let's just make the buttons animation, just so like whenever you open the main menu, the buttons come out. So it's a really easy task. Select the text of the buttons, and you should select them one by one. We're gonna have to create the main menu one by one, because I've tried to make them all at once and it doesn't really work, trust me. So you should just select the text one by one and select on create. Select the text object, not the parent object. Select the child of the button, so the text, the font. Select the animations, and I'm just gonna delete this because, as I said, I tried to make them all at once. It didn't happen. I ran into a couple of problems. Play button and select, and basically just select it, go up, go down, and now go all the way, maybe 30 milliseconds. You know what, no, make this in 30 milliseconds, and go all the way back and make it something like up, then down, and then select the color and make it make it disappear and then reappear again, so fade in. So what will happen is it goes from in to out, you know. So yeah, it goes from in to out, and maybe, and then just stop recording, just copy it. Now if we play, alright, now if we play, it shows a very a very what's it called? A very simple fade in effect, and maybe put it somewhere like around here. Maybe the logo comes in at about 40 milliseconds. Correct? Yeah, it comes in at about 40 milliseconds. So we want it to start animating at about 40 milliseconds. So I guess something like here maybe. So it starts animating and coming in at 40 milliseconds. And maybe setting this like a bit higher, just a tad bit higher, so it comes down. Very cool. Maybe set it all the way here so it comes faster. No, that's a bit too fast. I guess that's pretty cool, yeah. Now let's just copy all of this, copy the keyframes, go to the settings, the next button, go to create, and call it these settings. Now if we play, come on. Yeah, they loop. So it has a really easy fix, as I just said. Just select play button, and unselect loop time. Go to settings button, and unselect loop time, and go to quit. Select the quit button, the animation clip, not the animator, animator controller, the animation clip, and deselect loop time. So now if we play again, these should just fade in one by one and in a really cool motion. It's just really nice. Okay, so now let's just add in the scene manager. So what a scene manager is, it just manages the scenes. It manages the levels. Scenes are just basically levels. Whenever I say scenes, you should know that these are different levels. So basically, let's just go all the way back. And the scene manager just basically tells when our tells our game when it should go to the next level. So whenever we press on play, we should go to the level 1. Whenever we go to settings, we should go to the settings level, and or sorry, the settings scene. And whenever we click on quit, we should exit our game. So it's actually very easy. I'm just gonna save my scene. I'm just gonna scenes, main menu, test, and let's just save it. Now, if I go to, if I just select this, and I'll go to assets. Alright, so I'm just go to scripts, and I'm gonna create a C# script. I'm just gonna call this scene manager. Very cool. I'm gonna right click, double click. It'll open up I want to tell Unity I'm using the scene manager, scene management, Unity engine.scene management, so it knows I'm actually changing between scenes. You really don't need the two of them. Just delete this and delete the void start and void updates because you really don't need them. But don't delete the public class, don't be like me. And let's just start. So basically what we want to happen is a really simple task. Whenever we want we're just gonna make different methods. So whenever we click on something, we'll tell our whenever we click on a button, we want to tell our scene manager that you should execute this exact method. So basically, we're gonna tell our game whenever you click on play, we're gonna want to search for a public void play game method if it's available, and do whatever is inside these two brackets. So be sure to make it public, or else Unity won't detect it, because public basically just like detects between different scripts. It detects the different what's it called, methods or variables between two different scripts. It's actually really handy. In this instance, we're gonna have to be using public. So basically, public scene manager. So basically, kids, don't be a idiot like me and set the name of the script the same as the scene manager. Just make it something like scene management, and it'll work. So yeah, I basically ran into a little problem right here, and thanks to who answered it? Yeah, thanks to Henry Stratton FW. He helped me out. I actually just searched for the question in Google, and it turned out right here. And then rename it right here. Just go to rename it scene management, because you have to rename it in the two exact places, the same exact name with the same exact capital letters and small letters. Alright, so back here, public void play game, and scene manager dot load scene. So basically you're accessing the scene manager and you're calling the load scene function, which is a built-in function in Unity. And what scene do you want to load? You basically just put in the name of the scene right here. To put in the name of the scenes, just it's actually a really easy task. Just go to file, go to build settings, and add in the name of the scene. In my case, it's called level 1. So I'm just gonna put it right here, called level 1. Now let's create a different public void, but instead of making it play game, we'll make it public void settings, or make it from you know what, just delete the from main to settings. Alright, and rename this to settings, and if we go right here, it should be the exact same name. So yeah, settings. Alright, so back here, public void main to settings, and we'll add the final one, which is for quit. So we'll add in quits, but not quit, just not the same quit game, and scene manager dot load scene. Sorry, not scene manager. We'll just call it an application. We'll call in the application and we'll tell it to quit. You have no right to your application. Get out. Just quit. Just stop with life. And yeah, as I said, just make a game object, an empty game object, and assign it to scene manager. Call it scene manager or whatever, and just assign it to the script. Now let's go to play, and let's select the on click. Let's drag in this scene manager right here. You could also just make the like the entire play area, the entire buttons, the child of the scene manager object, and go to scene management right here and select the what you want to happen. So play game, this method right here, is the same exact one as right here. So what'll happen is it'll go to level 1. So scene manager, add a function, scene management, play game. Same thing with settings. Cool. Add something. Scene manager, none. Scene management. Settings. Yeah, main to settings. And go to quit. Same thing here. Just add in the scene manager. Scene management, quit game. Save it, cause why not? And if we play, we'll see it basically just swipes in play, settings, and quit. Press on play, it highlights settings, highlight, and quit. Press on play, it takes us to our game. I basically just made this little scene. I'm gonna like make it a full game, a full like fun game for you guys to enjoy. Now if we click on play one last time, we go to settings. Come on, we go to settings, and it takes us to this little area. So basically, just to make sure that this works, add a debug.log statement and say we want it to say quit game, and add a semicolon at the end. Save and go to right here, select play. Alright, so if we click on quit game, all the way here, it's quit game. So we know that this works, and whenever we when we build our game, it should work normally. It just takes us out of our game. Very cool. Settings, very cool. Also, like, you should get the exact name right, because you don't want to go in trouble. Build settings. Yeah, it's called main menu test, not main menu. So main menu test without spaces. Main menu test. And from settings to main. Save it. Now if we go all the way back to scenes, main menu, nope, not this one, play. Alright, now if we click on quit, we quit game. If we click on settings, we go all the way here, and there's a little button that fades in. Go back, tear in play settings. Maybe make the Terran intro like a bit faster because it's way too slow. Click on play, and we have our game right here, which is like. So thank you for watching this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you. Wow, this is actually very fun. Okay, anything really gives me dopamine these days. Alright, so thank you for watching this lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next tutorial where you have tons of fun. What are we really doing here if not having fun? Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and don't forget to check out my Udemy courses and the link below. Also, one last time, don't forget to like and share and subscribe. And see ya.